Hi, again. My name is Mark Baker. I'm with MAB Notary Services. I'm so happy to join you today, and um, I trust that you all have looked at some of the other episodes or videos that I have out there concerning the notary business. Those are put there to help you become better at what you do, have a better understanding of certain things within your notary practice as far as your duties and responsibilities in order to build your confidence so that you can go out there and create a win-win situation. When you feel better about something, you do a better job. And the intent is to help you strengthen your knowledge about the concepts and duties and responsibilities of your operation within the notary practice. And I hope that these videos are beneficial. That is my intent. Um, and I do, like I've said in my other videos or episodes, invite you to make comments because I like for us to have a two-way conversation. Communication is key, and the way that you and I can communicate is by you leaving me comments. And in those comments, just express that if you would desire that I do something more about a topic that I've already covered, or you desire to have me do a topic that I have not yet covered. You cannot find in the videos that I have out there. Okay, so today our topic is going to be, and you may have this situation arise from time to time, and you need to know if this should arise, how to respond to it, and what your rights would be in a certain situation like this. And the topic is, can a notary refuse to notarize your document or a document? What do you think? And the answer to that is yes. And that depends on, factors. Of course, you need to feel that you are safe. You need to feel that when you are within a situation that it is according to what is expected of you as a notary, according to your state law. I mean, you don't want to go into a place to notarize a document and you can determine that the signer is not willing to do it. In some ways, they could have, you could get the impression that they are being somehow coerced to do something that they really don't want to do, either by a family member or any other any other reason. So in situations like that, you wouldn't move to notarize a document for anyone in that scenario. Um, but the answer is certainly yes. A notary can refuse to notarize your document under certain circumstances, and I'm going to mention some of the reasons why this might happen. For instance, incomplete documents. If your document isn't fully completed, a notary might refuse to notarize it because basically a notary shouldn't be notarizing a document with blank spaces because you don't want to have a situation where you're notarizing something and then later that blank field is filled with something that wasn't there. at the time you notarize the document. I mean, that's misrepresenting um, what that document is supposed to be there for. And so you don't want to notarize anything with blank spaces because that would be considered to be an incomplete document. And that can cause some serious issues down the road depending on what type of document that is. Another instance would be for the lack of proper identification. You have to refer to your state law and another episode I did mention, like in the state of Florida, and I'm sure for all states they have what you call a notary primer, and in that it gives you, the rules, the laws and rules that you're supposed to govern yourself as a notary. Adhere to those rules and laws, federal, um, both federal and state laws. So it's a good thing to have one of those guides available so you can use it as a reference. But yes, if in most cases, this state, I know in Florida, they require that you have a government issue ID. The ID should have a serial number. Um, and also in Florida, you can accept a government issued expired identification as long as that expiration date is within 5 years. And that varies from state to state. So you need to be familiar with your state law when it comes to accepting the proper identification. Um, Another reason would be, like I mentioned earlier, if you feel like that the sign is being under duress or coercion to sign a particular document. If you suspect that, you can refuse to perform that notary act. In fact, it would be a good idea to refuse it, especially if you can determine that that is occurring at the time you're there to notarize a document. I wouldn't move on something like that. That's a personal choice, but I think the best choice would be not to proceed with notarizing a document for someone who you can. It's very obvious that they're really reluctant to signing the document and having it notarized, and you can pick that up. Another reason, and a very important reason, if you see incompetence there. I mean, if you see where that signer does not understand why they're signing a legal document, it would behoove you to not proceed with notarizing that because a person needs to be competent about what they're doing, especially when it comes to anything legal, that can create a situation later. You when I say a situation with legal implications. So you wouldn't want to, uh, if you see that person, or if they're showing signs of being incompetent, not really knowing what they're doing, they're incoherent. You can pick that up, and you find that a lot in elderly people. They could. There are certain things they may need to do, so you have to be very careful with that. And because you don't know the structure of that family, you don't know what you're really getting into. It could be siblings, one sibling trying to get the mom or dad to do something without the other sibling being aware of it. And then later you can find yourself in a terrible situation. So you have to be very careful with this. You just don't go into it without, you have to be very observant. Because that's part of your responsibility that you go in and that's something that is expected of you. that you, when you go in notarizing anything, that that person is showing that they are who they are posing to be, who they are. You have that identification to support that. That they are doing it willfully. They're not being coerced or forced to do something they don't want to do. Those things are very important because those things can have legal implications down the road. And so, and you could tell, you just got to be watchful and careful, um, and and certainly you wouldn't notarize anything that you have a personal interest in. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't notarize a document for yourself, and I kind of wouldn't. I wouldn't want to notarize anything um, that I have that I could benefit. That you like properties that you wouldn't do anything that you could. There's a self benefit. That doesn't look very good. You wouldn't do that. That's another reason why you would refuse to, and a very important reason why you should refuse to notarize the document. In parting, notaries have an ethical duty to ensure that the signing is voluntary. The signing and to verify the identity of the signers. If these conditions aren't met, a notary can legally refuse to notarize the document and should, by all means, not notarize the document. If you find yourself in such a situation, it's helpful to understand the reason for refusal and address the issues to proceed with notarization. Um, Again, I can't stress enough that um, I invite you to comment on this episode or video as well as the others. And to so that we could make sure that we are doing something here that would benefit. We can receive a benefit from it. We want this to be effective, and so the way to do that um, is that you can leave me a comment. Like I said at the onset of this video, and I've said it in my other videos, our way of communicating is through your comments. And if there's something that you would like to see come out of these videos that you believe will be helpful, not only to you, sometimes, whatever you put there can, and open it up for discussion, can be helpful to other viewers, because we can't think of everything, and then, hey, someone may make a point to bring something up and you say, oh, I hadn't thought about that, but, good point, and so we want to be there to help each other build our practices, and go out and do what is expected of us and do a good job, um, and so please, you're not compelled to, but please leave comments, and also like, subscribe, and share. you know, um, and it would be truly appreciated. And I think we can all learn and grow from it. Okay, until then, this has been nice, and I look forward to us doing this again. Until then, happy notary.